Elections meeting. This is September the 28th. We are still in the MedCap building, and the public can hear us virtually. I have before you a copy of the agenda. At this time, we'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve. Second.
Properly moved and second that the agenda be approved. Are there any additions or deletions to this agenda that could not be covered or that will not be covered under other business?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or signify by saying no. Motion carries. You have a copy of the minutes from September the 21st. We'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and second that the minutes from September the 21st be approved. Are there any corrections or deletions or additions to these minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or signify by saying no. Motion carries. Okay, we're down to the director's information to the board.
Okay, we met last week and had representation from county facilities, and I have spoken with the facilities and met with them and with the county management team, and they are working to find us a location. They're actively looking for us something.
Okay, any questions? Okay, and don't forget, what was his name? Joel said if we, still says if we see anything, let him know.
Yes.
If you see a building that you think would be appropriate for the Board of Elections, let him know, and he's willing to check it out for us. Okay. Down number 4, approval of absentee ballot applications. We will hear from Ms. Dawn.
Okay. This week we had 12 that were returned, that were all with the correct signatures in place. So far this time, everybody's done a great job signing and getting their witnesses to sign. I haven't had to spoil anything and reissue.
They got educated in the last election.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So they know now. We all did kind of. Yes, sir. You're right.
Trial by fire.
That's right.
I'll go ahead and, then here are the one-stop applications from the 21st, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and the 27th for y'all's approval.
You need it, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'll get that activated.
And that one didn't have the number of applicants on that first.
Oh, okay. We did. Sign.
That's why I'm sure it got me noted. That's longer than my marriage was.
You. The number of applications.
I'll call and find out which, I'll count the sheets here in just a minute. How about that?
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Actually, I probably. 38 that day.
I told her she was gonna count when I first signed.
There you go.
Oh, they got hung up right here.
Oh, yeah, no, that's all. That's my That's my fault.
And today, at 5 is the last day that I can mail out any, absentee ballots. The requests have to be in today by 5. That's all I have on the absentees.
How many have we had to vote, Don? Do you have an idea, an estimate?
I'll find out. I will.
I was looking on these to see if I could
It
figure it out.
doesn't, yeah. it
Oh, you
doesn't.
mean the total?
But
I think it was around 423, something like that.
I didn't go yesterday afternoon, so I didn't. Or did I go?
You did, but I mean, I pulled the sheets this morning and it was over 400.
I was trying to get back to that Zoom.
So are you saying we only had about 400 and some people
Yeah.
to vote in the
Right.
early voting for the primary for the city of Burlington?
Right.
Yeah.
Which is about on track.
The population of about 60,000, isn't it?
At least.
Yeah, well, I think,
You think we get 1,000?
Early voting?
no, don't believe we'll make it.
We probably may. Okay, any questions about the absentee ballot applications that we've just approved? Okay, hearing none, we'll move down to number 5. Is there anything we need to approve for the chief judge's appointments and replacements?
Madam Chair, we do not have to approve anything technically.
Okay,
We had a precinct official who has a death, I think it's his mom is in hospice, and he's going to not work October and November. I think is he the chief judge?
Yeah, I think this was the first year. Jackie Jeffries, do you know him?
yeah.
His mom.
So, we have another precinct official from another precinct that's not open in October that's gonna serve for him, and you've already approved him.
Yeah.
So it's nothing that needs to be approved. We might have to approve something for November if we have to get somebody totally new. Our hopes is maybe we can use somebody from a precinct that, one of the few that's not open
Okay.
in, November, get them to maybe serve.
Okay.
So just letting you know that we are gonna take a temporary person that's already approved and put there.
Okay, any questions about that? Okay. Okay, now we're down to number 6, approval of the budget pay increase for chief judges, assistants, and one-stop workers. And the executive director has prepared a handout for us, okay?
This is, you approved this in the overall budgeting process that we did in the early part of the year. But I wanted it to be in our minutes, and I wanted a copy of it to be in the minutes books, because when we were discussing the pay of the precinct officials and potentially increasing their salary or asking for their salary increase, we were trying to figure out the last time that it had been increased, and we couldn't quite put our finger on it. So I wanted to prepare something that was going to be very evident and get your, even though you've already approved it, just get you to approve the specific figures publicly. And that way, when you need to increase their pay again, you can go back to the exact date. So the chief judge, their current pay is their base pay. Now, they get paid a little bit more than this. All of them get paid a little bit more than this, because this just includes their base pay. They get paid for their training. They get paid for picking up their supplies and for setting up the precinct, but that's not their base pay. I did not increase those because looking at what we give for those tasks compared to other counties, we pay very equal, if not better. So I left those where they were. we give them $50 for training. And so that's, it's 25 for their, if we were in person, it would be 25 for the book training and 25 for the equipment training. So, doing it online, we're still giving them that money. So, but they have to complete their online training to be able to work. So, and I can let Judson, if you have questions about that, speak about how that's been progressing.
Okay.
But, even the assistants, they get a little bit more by extending their training. But this is the base pay, $300 for the chief judge, we're increasing that to $350. The judge is $220 now, and we're increasing it to $270, or asking you to approve it. Assistants, $10 an hour at both One Stop and Election Day, increasing that to $12 an hour. And then the site coordinators at the early voting sites, increasing them from $10.50 to $13 an hour. So I ask that you consider approving that.
Motion to approve the pay increase for precinct and one-stop officials.
Okay, it's been properly moved, and second, that we, approve the pay increases for precinct officials and one-stop officials. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion carries.
And as of yesterday, it was 423 had voted early.
Okay. Okay, we're down to, other business, and I know we didn't put it just officially on the agenda, but do we have any public comments or anything that could come under other business, for right now?
I apologize, I did not check that. Let me look and see. Dawn, did you think?
Well,
Anybody else?
not as soon as I left this morning, there were not any, unless somebody puts some on.
I don't think I can get it on here.
I'm gonna try and get it on here. I don't know if it'll update itself because we're on my side, but
Okay, well, while we're looking, and I don't think, if you don't see it, I don't think we probably have any public comments, I think. Do we have posted, anywhere, where the, people from, Burlington will be voting on October, is it 5th? Which sites will be open?
Yes, you have that on there, don't you, Judson?
I do indeed. I've got little cards with the picture.
You have it,
name.
you have it,
It's really nice.
Yes.
On the website.
it's on the website.
Oh, yes, sorry. I thought we were talking specifically about the website. Yeah, I do have it on the website.
Okay, it is on the website. We're getting questions, or people are getting questions where, which polls are open. And I haven't looked to see, and I certainly don't, can't remember all of that. So it is on our website. Okay, let me put that down. Okay.
I have a list I could email to.
Would you please?
That would be very, very beneficial for y'all.
Would you please? I have been asked to do an update, and if I have it, then I can update that for the city of Burlington where they will be, okay? The other thing that I have heard that is confusing, I don't know whether you all have or not, I'm sure you have. There is an organization doing lit drops and for candidates, and they have a candidate, well, they have a person in there who is not yet a candidate. If that makes sense.
Not really.
So, okay.
Future candidate, maybe.
Well, who will probably file in December.
Yeah.
So we're getting questions. I have voted, but his name wasn't on my ballot. So it's as if we have made a mistake. We have not made a mistake. He is not a candidate yet. And if that person is going to become a candidate, so I just think, we need to be prepared to answer those questions when we hear them. So the people are doing lit drops, and that individual who is now in office, but who will, if that individual runs again, will not run until, so that is confusing a lot of people, and it's not something we've done. So what I'm saying is that person is not running now, So, well, actually it's for two. The other one is who, because they see the sign that says vote for the sheriff, who is running against the sheriff. I don't know. Because, it is not time for the sheriff to run in this election. So I think we have to be able to make sure people understand that we did not leave off any names. The sheriff is not running in this municipal race anywhere. And and we don't know. We don't know who's running for sheriff. I don't care what signs they see out there. So be prepared for that. Representative Hurtado, I don't know. I don't care if they did drop it at your post office or, in your mailbox or on your porch. We didn't leave it off. We don't know anything about it. We don't, as a board and as the staff, we know nothing about.
I believe the State Board of Elections had a press release not too long ago on watch out, here comes the mailers, as an advance warning of just that type of. And of course, last election there was quite a bit of confusion around mailers with incorrect information. So it's a shame that is the case, but not surprising.
Right.
We promise that if they file next time, we will put them on the ballot.
Right.
That's right.
But right now, just because they bundled them with people who are running this time and they put that person's name in there. So now, you have folk who are saying, well, he wasn't on my ballot. No, he was not, because we did not leave his name off of the Burlington primary. He's not running in the municipal elections. So, I think that is confusing a lot of people.
I haven't received any calls.
Okay. So I think we just have to be, unless my name is just on the billboard, call Dorothy, to answer these questions. Okay.
I will tell you that I just looked up on the website, and he has it on here very nicely. It has the voting locations, and it even has them by cities. And you can click on the city, and it shows you the polling places in that city, and has a picture of it.
For each one of the municipalities. Okay, that's good, because people are asking. I got a call from someone in Gibsonville. Where will they vote in Gibsonville? I think they think that we carry it around with us. Perhaps we ought to make ourselves a copy for future reference. If somebody asks you where they're voting in Elon, but right now I know they're asking. Oh, the other confusion is, why do I have to vote twice in Burlington? Well, one is the primary, and why can't I? Why in their names will be on the ballot, but we have to first get names to go on the ballot for the city of Burlington. So that is a lot of confusion as well. You know, well, should I just wait and vote in November? Is the question. Well, we want you to vote now so that you will have someone to vote for in November. So I think my pastor probably was tired. Actually, he said to me Sunday, he said, "Dot, are you going to be at church Sunday?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, will you do just a few minutes and talk about this election?" And I thought, gee whiz, where they vote, why there will be, why there are two in Burlington and that type thing.
It's hard to explain to the average citizen about the charter of the city.
Yes,
They don't understand that.
and the difference municipality to municipality.
For municipal, because the other one
Yeah.
is, why are we not voting for a mayor in Green Level? Well, theirs is different from Burlington's and Graham's or whoever, those type things. So those are the types of questions or some of the things that people are asking in the community.
I'd like to thank Judson for having that so user-friendly.
Thank you.
It sounds like maybe I need to familiarize myself with the website now that it's
I have done
new
a
and
few
improved.
upgrades.
Yeah,
So it's under municipal voting locations on the top toolbar. If you hover over that, you scroll down to City of Burlington, and it has all the sites listed with their pictures.
Will you just make me a copy?
Absolutely.
And we have a list that when I send you the other, it lists each municipality and all the precincts that are, like for Gibsonville, it lists the precincts that vote for Gibsonville, for Burlington, and some of them might be on there 2 or 3 times because they might vote for Burlington, they might vote for Graham too. So they're listed under both. You see what I'm saying? So it lists each municipality, so I'll see, and the ones that aren't open's listed down at the bottom,
Okay.
So I can send that along with the Burlington.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
also a link on there about about the registration, check your voter registration, is that correct? And that would be something that I would encourage folks to do, is make sure that they're going to the right bodies, if they're not familiar.
Right. Because there was
Some temporary transfers.
yeah. And somebody the other day, they were in line and they said the person behind them was saying, had an issue about that they knew they were registered and they could, and they are registered to vote. And it could be that they are registered to vote, but they may not be able to vote in this primary. So they were saying, that they are not eligible to vote in the primary. So someone was mentioning to me that they voted, I think it was yesterday, and the person behind them or whatever was having a difficulty with the person who was checking them in, because that person was not,
We had somebody come in today that was in the county, but they had a Burlington address,
yes.
but they were in the county, not in the municipality. And
That's me.
explain that.
Right.
that wasn't me, but that's my situation.
Me too.
Yeah, Pleasant Grove, the same way, because we got called from the Pleasant Grove area, asking that they have a Burlington address. And so, and you have to tell them, no, but you don't vote, And then the people outside of the Graham, down 50 parts of 54 were asking the same thing,
Mhm.
So I think.
Well, hopefully these are newly energized voters who are trying to vote anytime they can. And have just not paid enough attention before in the past. No? These are seasoned voters?
Yes, hopefully, Noah.
No, absolutely not. Mm-mm. But I just, that's just some of the things that we should be aware of.
So tell them to call you.
Huh,
We just tell them to call you.
please. Already doing that, tell me to go.
Yes, and the state voter search tool tells you your precinct and if you're in a municipality. So,
And it
Which one,
also
what is that, huh?
is voter search.
Huh?
I just pulled myself up and it tells me my.
Now, which one, what site is that?
It's voter search.
Okay.
Tool, it's off the North Carolina State
Yeah.
Board of Elections
Uh-huh.
website. It also
We
lists your
link to it
sample
on our
ballots. They're
website.
Yes,
available.
and I can make it more prominent.
why don't you do that for the next?
After
meeting?
hearing what Dorothy said, I think it would be a
Please.
good idea to make that much more prominent.
Would you do that for us?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well,
And so,
Justin, everything I want him to make prominent, can you make that bigger, can I make?
We frequently have the conversation, we can't put everything on the homepage, but
okay,
we,
okay, so now, again, to make it easy, we tell them where to go on we're going on our website,
mhm.
okay?
And if we're talking about the municipal voting locations, there is a toolbar item at the top
Okay,
that you can either click on or you can hover over it and it will display each municipality in a drop-down menu. And City of Burlington is one of those municipalities. If you click on it, all the sites are displayed with their addresses, their precinct, just in case somebody had looked up which precinct they're in. It attaches that to the location. And the two sites that are closed are also listed there with a bolded and italics note saying both that this location is closed and telling those voters which location that they should vote at instead of that location.
okay. Okay. What she said, I can put in my address and it can tell me. Okay. Okay,
And that will be on the homepage when I move it into the more prominent
okay,
position, the voter search tool.
okay. Good. Okay. Is there anything else to come before us under other business? Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Kathy, I noticed, and I'm pleased that we did raise the pay for helpers. I see the assistant and the one-stop early voting assistant and the site manager, 10, 10, and 10.50. That stayed that way for a while, didn't it, before? And then it went up to 12, 12, and 13. I would love to see us maybe in the next couple of years get up to at least $15 an hour for these folks. And, you know, if we get to do it by stealth, we either go ahead and bite the bullet and do it next year or do it within the next 2 years if we could. I think that would help us in terms of finding qualified, competent people to man these posts and, you know, and it just out of fairness also, you look at the cost of living and things going on today.
Well, I definitely think it would be fair to, a fair assessment to say if we could put even $1 a year for the next few years, tack it onto the budget since we, increased, a fair amount here
Yeah,
considering.
and we looked at what other counties
$1 a year.
comparable to our size are paying their folks
We actually pay really
really good.
compared to some of the other counties.
I need to get that off my chest, so.
Well, I think that's an excellent idea, and I think
It
in
is.
budget preparation, it'd be
Yeah.
very prudent to go ahead and, I think $1 a year is not gonna make or break the county, and it, mean a lot to our workers.
Sounds good.
And that's put them up to, if we did $1 a year for 2 years, that's gonna put them up to 15 and 14 by the presidential election.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the presidential election.
And that would be a good thing.
That's
yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be up to where they're trying to get minimum wage in the first place,
That's exactly right.
at least.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
So, I'd like to mention that today is National Voter Registration Day, as we're talking about our registrations, and keep in mind that if anybody is listening, or if you're out and about in the county, certainly we've had the registration deadline for the October primary. the municipal election registration deadline is, coming up
October 8th.
October the 8th, and remind people to check their voter registrations, make sure that they're in the correct place, and if they aren't registered, it's an excellent time to go ahead and do that.
Okay.
I should probably mention that along with Karen as part of voter outreach, we added a section to the website for that as well, specifically. On the toolbar, it says register to vote ? And if you click on that, it'll take you to a page where you can check, it has a link directly to the DMV online registration. It has a link to the paper registration form, and it has a question saying, not sure if you're registered, and under that, it has another link to the voter search tool. So you could utilize that as well.
Okay.
For voter registration.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, that sounds good. So we know that we do have help out there, in case people have questions. We have assistance on our site. If all else fails, they can call one of us. One of us and get. Okay. Anything else?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I wanted to apologize to you and to the other members of the board and to the staff for being late. I usually come from home and I know the way to get from home to here, but I was coming from a different location in Alamance County and I just couldn't figure it out.
Oh, my
So,
goodness.
I apologize.
That's okay. We'll have Justin put it on the toolbar.
Yeah. I'll have the directions right on up there.
We understand, no problem. You're here right on time. I mean, you're here for this as well. And I think you did say that you would not be able to attend the county commissioners meeting, right?
On October 4th, yeah, I have a prior.
Right, you had already, he had already notified me of
That's in the
that.
morning, right?
Yes.
9:30.
Mhm.
That's court time, isn't it?
I'm gonna be in that, there's a courtroom right beside that little county commissioner thing, so I'll be right there.
Oh,
Okay, good. Okay. So, okay, is there anything else to come before this board? Madam Director, anything else? And you say today is Jeanette's last name? Okay, so we wish Jeanette, an exciting and restful retirement. So if you'll let her know that, we certainly appreciate,
We're sad to see her go.
absolutely.
How long has she worked here?
13 years, is that right?
Wow.
14, 14.
Man.
13, 14.
Okay,
Very good.
appreciate her services
Mhm.
and let her know we still have her phone number as well. Okay, if there's nothing else to come before us, those of us who are going to be available for October 4th, 9:30, we'll see you at the county commissioners meeting. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
And our meeting will be on Monday at 5 o'clock here. I think we posted it from here.
Monday at 5.
That'll be to sign the absentee lists that go out to the precincts.
Okay, so we have Monday morning at 9:30. Monday at 5 here. Tuesday
At 2.
at 2 o'clock here.
The Monday's here as well.
Monday here.
Monday.
Fine, okay.
Yeah, Monday is at 5 mid-cap. Tuesday at 2 at mid-cap. At 9:30 at the Board of Commissioners office.
And then we'll
Rule.
come back, right? Tuesday.
Tuesday night, we'll have to figure out still, how we're gonna handle that. Cause we just don't, that, the room that was your boardroom, it's really being used for other things, so, I'm just not sure how we're gonna work that out.
Okay.
Still trying to figure that out.
Okay,
Cause if you're over here, you're not gonna see anything. We can spread you out around the building.
right, okay. So for Tuesday night, we will wait on further directions from the executive director as far as space. So we'll know where we'll be. And the time.
Yeah, 7:30 is when we start taking in returns.
Yeah.
When we release the one-stop returns.
Okay,
And then the precincts will come in fairly quickly, I hope.
okay, so Tuesday night, just put 7:30 on your calendar and then just wait for the location.
You can recess from here on
At our 2:00.
meeting.
we will
If you choose
recess.
To go there, then,
Mm-hmm.
we'll let the public know at that point where you'll be.
Okay. In other words, next week is busy.
Because the supplies will be brought back over here. Thankfully, that has straightened itself out and, we're not gonna have to move that all around. It will still be giving out and returning supplies here.
Okay.
So that, that's one thing you can do is break up and some of you help with the supplies, bring in the supplies and the others stay, y'all can switch off, however you want to do that.
Okay.
And it might be, since this is Homer's first election, he might want to just kind of road between the two sites to get a good feel of what goes on both places.
Mhm.
See the mayhem everywhere.
Firsthand.
The first hand,
And we would gladly let you do it. Absolutely.
so
Okay.
really I have nothing else now.
Okay. Is there anything else now to come before us? We have our agendas for actually next week as well, or our schedules anyway. If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Properly moved and second, we adjourn. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.